classic heroes. And they had 9 seconds left or
I was gonna say
deciding.
they were
Bat
really
Rider.
running out of time.
Oh, this is probably Bob's then. He's the resident Bat Rider player.
That's a flex then, right?
I would hope so.
But I don't really like that hero in the off lane.
Me neither.
Those they could consider it if they pick a really bad hero against it on this next pick.
Who's our boy that played off lane? Was it Raging Potato that played off lane Bat, or was it someone else?
I haven't seen it
That's
recently.
yeah.
That right there is not great for Bat.
Yeah, it's probably going to Bob. I don't think I've seen Tino play it. I'd be surprised if it was his. Although I'm getting scared for him because if this isn't his, like all the offlaners that he usually typically plays are like banned and taken out, and they're even more likely to get banned now. So
I mean, they're banning for it to some degree. I mean, it's good versus Tiny Lifestealer, good versus Bat. I really don't like this Bat pick. I think that really cornered them in a position where they don't want to be. Bat isn't really one of those heroes right now where you can just pick like this and be completely blind. They don't see the carry, they didn't see the mid, and there's so many options to counter Bat. Bat's kind of like one of those like last pick gotcha type of heroes, and that is not going to happen in this game.
I guess they knew that he wasn't like if this is Bob's, they knew he wasn't gonna get it last pick because it keeps getting banned against him. So they're just like.
Is he that good at
want it.
Bat though? Like
He's pretty good at Bat.
where he can just play versus Storm, the worst matchup possible for him.
Probably not, but we'll see. I wouldn't put it past him. I believe in Bob.
10 seconds.
All right.
I've got it. It's actually gonna be Tiny mid and Bat carry.
All right. So you heard her, right? She believes in Bob more than Yopaj.
No, I believe in Yopaj more than Bob.
No,
However,
no,
if
you
there's
said you
one
believed in-
person who's
Yeah,
Bat Rider
actually, no,
picking-
you're right,
Yeah.
B. You did say that you believe in Bob's Bat Rider.
Yeah, I didn't
over-
say no. I did not say over Yopaj.
That
I
was
said
part
I
of my
I
believe
didn't. I
in
was
question.
gonna say over your
I just said I
over
believe in
Storm.
it. No, you're putting words in my mouth that don't belong there, and I want you to stop right now. I will sue you.
I thought you were gonna say I want you to take them out.
Take them out.
I'm gonna need someone to clip it, ship it,
No,
send
no.
it to me.
I believe in Bob's Bat Rider.
I need to know
I
exactly what she said.
And my meaning is, if there is one man who can make it work, potentially, it's probably Bob. However, it is really hard because Yopaj is amazing as Storm Spirit.
It's like one of those sayings how you hear like the first half and you just run with it, and you're like, no, there's a second half to this saying.
I guarantee 2 minutes into this game, we're just gonna hear like first blood, and like Yopaj just like killed him under his tower somehow.
You reckon?
Yeah.
No, I think it's definitely gonna be in Bat Rider's favor here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
100%.
For
Yep.
sure.
No doubt in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
So they're just gonna get counterpicked on their mid and their off lane just like that, huh?
Big fat boy.
Yep.
All right. Well, here comes Ursa.
Sir.
Yep.
I can see it.
Why also?
Dumps on Underlord. Good
Mhm.
versus Tiny, I believe.
10 seconds remaining.
You believe?
I believe.
You believe?
It's not
Believe.
a statistic I
5
have,
seconds
but I can
remaining.
only imagine.
Would this be a
Tiny
cool
key.
drow game? Sorry to interrupt you. I didn't mean it. Carry
No,
on.
it's not very cool at all.
Okay, it's not very cool. It's
No.
very uncool.
It's a very
Continue.
uncool. Like Drow versus Bat, not fun.
That's fair.
Tiny, like what are you piercing his plus armor? Yeah, that's not cool either.
Right. What a stupid thing I said.
Super
What a
uncool.
friggin' idiot I am.
It's okay.
Can someone put some smart words in my mouth? I don't like the ones
Ursa.
that came out.
Say Ursa.
Yeah,
Okay.
I heard you say Ursa.
Is Ursa really cool?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think so.
You too can be smart, like me.
How?
I mean, the
By
life
having
series,
words put
man.
in your mouth.
I mean, they have to pick Ursa, right? I mean, it's
Well, why haven't they done
it's
it yet?
good
Yeah,
versus
I
Bat
This
too.
is like you're saying. You guys are like, this is such an obvious pick. Why don't they do it? And yet
Mm.
here they are. The reserve time's ticking down.
Maybe
and
they have something
Ursa
even
pick-
more cool than my suggestion. We'll see.
Like what?
I don't
sheep?
know. It's not mine. Yeah.
I
I mean, she said Drow. That was her cool suggestion.
I really like Drow. I think she's cool, and she has a crossbow, which is cool. And then, like, her crossbow would be bigger than Hoodwink's crossbow, which means that she would win, probably.
But what if she doesn't
Does
have
the bigger
Arcana?
crossbow win?
Then she'd lose.
Oh, okay.
Fuzzy
Cool.
wuzzy.
Gonna
Wow,
be
you
the
were so
Ursa.
smart by guessing that Ursa. Good job.
Thank you.
Wow, I want to know if Lyrical and Gods, did you guys guess this Ursa at all?
No, we weren't really talking that much. We
Oh.
were just kind of hanging out and enjoying listening to you guys, I think.
Gods is like, I was definitely paying attention. Yeah. Yeah. What did I ask, Gods?
I was so zoned out. I'm gonna be totally honest.
I knew it. I knew it.
Wow.
This is like what a teacher at the front of the class, and I'm
I'm
asked
just
the
like,
question,
oh,
and I get to the one
yeah.
kid that I know is listening. I'm like, yeah, what did I say?
Yeah.
What did I say?
You know, as a kid, I
Answer
would be
it.
super embarrassed. Now, as an adult, I'll admit it. I'll own it. Yeah, I didn't hear a
This is
single
what
word you
happened.
said for the
Yeah,
last 2
you
minutes.
still have to answer my question, but I'm not gonna re-ask it.
22,000 damage.
There it is.
How did he know?
Perfect.
How did he know?
The hoodwink, right?
Yeah.
No.
So
No.
insane. It's like he read my mind. No, I did
Oh.
ask if you saw the Ursa coming, but clearly not, as you were focused on something else. But give me the rundown of your thoughts on this draft.
Me or Lyrical?
Yeah, you got.
God, please
Trying to
listen.
get out of this one.
Nat, thank you.
Nailed it.
He's like, yeah,
back
this
to you.
draft.
Back to you, Nat.
Yeah, I agree.
The draft
I
looks
agree.
great.
But in fact, I don't actually want it, so I'm going to throw it back to you guys as we head into game 3.
God, what a great. I mean, I outroed by describing the panel as delicious. We didn't hear what they said when we came back. We are like slaying it this morning. And now we're getting ready to hop into this game number 3. And again, I mean, for this team, it's getting late over there in Singapore. You know, I think it's like 10, excuse me, not in Singapore, over in Southeast Asia in general. I'm not sure where exactly their boot camp is, but it is getting late there. And for Execration, it's getting late at the LAN Cafe. And they're having to battle for their lives, trying to stay in Division 1. It is a rough time.
Yeah, it's rough. You know, the circumstances today, it didn't go smoothly. You end up playing at a LAN cafe with a lot of noise, distractions around you. It's not how you had it planned. And level 1 fight, we'll see if this is something Execration had planned. It looks like they... oh, no. RR, can he get away from this? FBZ isn't going to level the bar strike. Can't get close enough, so... no harm, no foul.
Perfect. They will not end up giving up any first bloods there. Boom will make the long rotation. Everybody walking in a line together to head up towards the top
Yep.
side. Maybe there'll be a battle over there.
30 seconds.
New
to
location,
battle.
same idea for Boom. As far as the draft, okay, let's give some thought. I think the Ursa was a good pick. I think Boom. Also, what's good is putting like Tims on these aggressive fours. Like, you know, the Miranas, the Hoodwinks. I love to see him playing his heroes. I think Mirana's his best hero. You combo the Sand King. This is just the dream hero to secure your mid lane as well. Because I feel like Tims is this guy that's always going to look to secure Yopaj's lane, and Mirana is so good at finding those
Battle
openings.
begins.
Yeah, finding a way to, you know, just either just go ahead and farm away and turn into a late game menace, or like you said, helps to support them in the early laning stage. I wouldn't have minded the Drow Ranger pick either that Sheep was talking about. I think that could have been another cool way to do it. I mean, Drow Storm obviously not as good as it used to be, but you're still getting the agi from it, and there could have been like some, you know, very cool kiting ways. But to me, at least, this feels like, okay, we're just gonna completely destroy this Underlord's lane. But it is a hero that I've been interested in seeing. You had mentioned that there might be some damage issues coming out later on for Execration.
Yeah, and I think Ursa really amplifies that, because Ursa, you know, when you're in rage and just in general, you can get pretty tanky, but I feel like early to mid game, they're going to be very reliant on Shanks' Hoodwink to be like a kind of damage dealer alongside the Bat Rider of Bob. Underlord, low damage hero. Omni Knight, 0 damage hero. And Tiny does damage once you come online, but that's like realistically at least two items. Echo Saber plus like Shadow Blade, maybe even more. So I do feel like this early to mid game is going to be very Boom favored.
Coming online quickly, we'll see if Tims can make his way over and maybe stack up some of those Ancients again like we've seen previously. And you can see down there bottom as well. Kino just trying to make a life for himself, has the Atrophy Aura level 1. So only the 5% damage reduction. And won't have access to that Firestorm yet. Trying to pull the creep wave back a little bit closer to their tower so he doesn't have to deal with the pressure that Ursa brings around. Tough matchup, just in general, for the Underlord.
Yeah. We'll see how he's going to fare. One thing I did check when the Ursa came out. So Jackie has played this hero 4 times in the last like 6 months. He's only won 1 of those 4 games. Some of that may not have been on Boom. This is just his individual record on that hero recently, but he's not a big Ursa player, so we'll see if that kind of comfort factor comes into play here.
And that could have been part of the reason why they waited so long to take it as well. But regardless, it feels like it is a really good game for it in general. The other thing that I've kind of been wondering is, like, if so there's been a couple of instances where Underlord's been picked up in some of the DPC matches in other regions, and I feel like there's a lot left unexplored with this hero in terms of the Fiend's Gate, being able to move around the map really effectively. We've seen some of these games go super late stages. I do kind of like the Execration lineup if they go and get to the super late game because of that maneuverability they're going to have. Of course, the big danger is that then you've got like sort of a weird situation with the Bat Rider mid. Is he really going to scale? Is the Underlord really going to scale? Who's to say?
Yeah. The one thing I do really like about what the Underlord has done, it was like early gloves of haste. This is sick. Like you're getting this bonus from the trophy aura. Maybe even see it a second point at level 3. That's where I feel like it really gets value. And the gloves just allow you to just secure last hits, deny, and harass way better. So digging what we're seeing there, but probably a lane where there's going to be, you know, more of a focus on farming. But there is some battling going on. Looking to fight under the fire. So they kind of daring boom to go on him.
Big tanky slug that he is, and trading hits with the tree, not too bad. Shanks throws on out the bushwhack. A couple of chains up, no enchantress this time, like they were talking about. And so far in the mid lane, we haven't seen any first bloods. No real early pressure at all. Both mids doing okay. Definitely a little bit into the favor of Yopaj. He's up a couple of CS over the bat.
Has that 21 ready to go as well. See if he pops it maybe to get some money. He's getting poked at here. The flame break coming out. Yeah, he's going to pop his wand and start building up those new stacks. That's the issue. Storm loves mana, and Batride's just going to keep giving him mana with the max wands.
I think there is that like window where there's a potential for an all-in from a lot of other heroes. And ooh,
Battle over the rune. Bob gets
bushwhack. Yeah, and Scam, is he going to be in some trouble now? They have another flame break in 10, but having used that earlier, it's tough.
Yeah, guaranteed kill with the flame break, but heads up from Execration, Bulb had no chance of getting the top room because that's where the Mirana was. This is like classic boom. They love to rotate their supports, not just for the 6-minute power runes like many teams do, but they're doing it 4 minutes. If Yopaj is winning his lane mid, you bet those supports are going to prevent the enemy mid laner, if they have a bottle, from getting a water rune. So we saw it last game, we see it here again. This time around, Execration adapted from game 2 and make sure they bring the supports themselves to secure a rune.
Yeah. And normally this would be a bit of a problem with the other lanes, but Execration have kind of dealt with it somewhat effectively. And after getting the 2 points up in Atrophy, Artino's actually able to found a life for himself, although Jackie is starting to stack up the damage down bottom. 4 stacks of the Fury Swipes before he forces him back in the tree. Battling it out. Scam in trouble, but it's first blood mid instead. Neutral creeps deny Scam. They're able to go for the all-in.
Wow, Bob gets the solo kill mid. Does die with the Mirana showing up. Looks like he, got the kill behind the tower. It's this Bob versus Yopaj honestly has been the story of today. That has just been such a fun matchup to watch game after game. Game 2 was Yopaj. Game 1 was kind of even. Game 2 was Yopaj, and so far Game 3 has been Bob. So
it's a good time to turn up. Making it happen in this final match. And well, for now at least, Tim's did get some stacks over here to the side, and that means that Yopaj can try and play a little bit of catch up, but it's deadly now, right? Coming back to lane with level 6 online for Batrider. I mean, Storm has to get at least level 6 before he can come back in, and Vincenzo, as you can see, he's already coming on in to try and mess with Yopaj. And Arrow is out. A good chunk of damage. Does have the Heavenly Grace, but it is not going to be enough to keep him alive.
on the other side of the map, Skem's train has been constantly blocking these Ancients. Unfortunately, even though he bites off a bit more than he can shoot, he'll get chased down, but these Ancients are not spawning. Which is a lot of farm that is not available to Bob for now. They dewarded again. So there's been like 4 or 5 sentries. Sorry, it's blocked again. So yeah, we just keep blocking it. Sentry after sentry.
That's super annoying. Do they have any coming out either? Doesn't look like
double
it. 2
sentry
sentries on the Underlord.
Yeah, Underlord. I don't know if he... Yeah, it looks like Aura bought... Yeah, probably the Hoodwink's saying, like, I don't want to buy sentries. I don't even have boots. Like, the 4th position is 4, so... It's the...
Up top. Paulos.
Bit of
That's the
deja
easy
vu.
combo.
Yeah. FBZ Sanking looked great in last game. Had, like, a double kill by himself, and this time... Not by himself, but he's crushing this game once again. Leading the farm and crushing his lane.
3 points in arrow for the Mirana, so it's like the easy setup, and now has the earn done too. So next kill is going to very much start snowballing this game even further into her favor. It's 1,000 gold lead in spite of that solo kill mid coming out. Still very close amongst the cores, and it's mainly just that this Mirana is like super farmed.
The issue is this like it's so hard to secure your safe lane with the Omni Knight. It just made their lane a little bit too weak. I feel like, other than the Omni, I like Execration's draft, but what we're gonna have to see is what we saw in game 1, which is a lot of just jungle farming from Palos. But if they learned anything from that game 1, they're gonna contest this jungle farm. Palos has gone Midas Tiny, no boots, nothing, just rush this Midas. So we're in for some greed for Execration. This is not your typical Tiny build.
This is what we learned. You know, if you're gonna be farming AFK, might as well just get the Midas too. Why not?
Absolutely, yeah. Got a Bat Rider, he'll create space for you.
And Bob has a haster in now, trying to go in towards those boots of travel. Basically, Yopaj has been off the map this entire time. Just saying he doesn't want anything to do with this. And he also managed to pick up the Grace Trinkets, so taking a nice stack.
Yep. Still find always, but I think if you're Boom, you're thinking let's just keep playing around Sanking. He's got a blink now, so it's hunting season, and Boom, I don't think you're just looking for this Omni Knight. You want to take this top tier 1 tower at some point. It just means full access to jungle. It's more likely we want Sanking like invading this jungle where the Tiny's trying to farm, or collapsing on the mid lane where Bob is. Tiny's already left this jungle. I think just feeling it's not safe. This time around, Tim's is putting wards in the jungle, so I mean, game 1, I remember watching this game thinking, like, how are they just letting Palos free farm his jungle? Usually you get forced to your triangle. This time around, they're actually invading.
And it's needed. I mean, the thing that's sort of weird about it, though, is that you can see, like, that Blink Dagger, they want to play aggro, try and make something happen with Tim's. Yopaj is also in the area, but you can see that as Jit's going to get caught. I don't think this is the kill they wanted at all.
No. It's still earn charges. Yeah, they'll take anything they can get. Is it earn charges?
Oh,
he lives.
And Beanscape. Over on the other side, they bring everybody in. Yo, what a turnaround. FBC's in trouble. And then they just leave, go back bottom. Why not? All right, that's the way you make it work.
Yeah, everyone just underestimates the bonus strength in Heavenly Grace, I feel like. Everyone's too used to old Omni Knight where it's just like repel, or, you know, Heavenly Grace before it gets strength. Bottom lane now. Don't want to make a play.
Yopaj in trouble, wants to get away. Nino down low. Jackie. Oh, the chase. Follows for a couple more punches. They're not quite going to have it. And actually could still throw that tree, but only connects onto Skem.
Bob's showing up, though. He's looking for some prey, but no boots of travel yet, so he doesn't have that bit of mobility he needs. Nice little move from Yopaj, but he's having, you know, a quiet-ish game because he's been spending a lot of time farming, but with triple Null Fairy's Trinket, can definitely expect Yopaj to get very involved and active on this game now.
You know, I think that the Omni lived there because of the Caustic. When you purge that off of him, he got the bonus 5 extra strength on top of that too, from Heavenly Grace, the change that it gets. So being able to purge that thing off of him, and that might have been the difference between him living and not living. It's like
interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Kind of a neat little way to make it work. And the other thing too now is like you're going to be able to. One of the big criticisms I felt like panel had previously for this Omni Knight pick was that they didn't really have anything to buff up. This game you got the Tiny.
Yes. And even in like the early to mid game, putting it on the Bat Rider when he's diving in and making aggressive plays can be really nice. So I do feel like, you know, the danger was just this lane stage. Like, can you survive and not get run over? Sanking had a great lane, like very fast Blink Dagger. Didn't actually end up taking the tower that fast, but is going to be active. But, you know, Tiny's in a decent position with his fast Midas. Like, we're going to see Tiny just farm it up while the rest of the team try and make these plays.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And of course, it does become a problem if they can't manage to take the bottom tier 1 tower. But as long as theirs is still living, there's sort of an okay moment there for them. Yep. But again, 1,000 gold separating the two teams as Bob is going to go for the Firefly and clear out the Ancients after having finally been unblocked. But down bottom, Skem running right past Shanks.
2 ships in the night. TP in, they want to defend this. Mirana's here. Gonna just snipe that siege wagon, and that, I think at this point, if you're Execration, you just ditch this push. There's living armor, no siege wagon. Maybe you just, I mean, get your farm down here. This is like a pretty nice place to be farming with the enemy jungle plus the waves, but I don't think they're getting this tower.
No, and I mean, yeah, Paulo's going to be happy to keep getting farmed down here bottom as long as there aren't any rotations. It just, I guess, makes it a little bit scarier for him. because they can make those moves that much quicker.
I was about to say, unlike Boom, Execration haven't really had anyone able to farm or defend top. They are going to send Bob up there with the Boots of Travel. He's still hiding. He doesn't feel safe. He's just letting this tower get low and even deniable. Just feeling like this is not a good place to be, but Sanking FBZ coming up is going to probably look for this tower, and Bob is there to punish.
Yeah,
What a
lasso
bait.
used. That was really nicely played. We'll have a burrow strike afterwards, but the flame break and then a couple more stacks of the sticky napalm. An easy kill. So the tower going to drop very low and likely dead, but they're going to be able to deny that one.
Just great bait. He was very patient there, knowing the Sanking was around and almost, you know, it looked like no one was defending. Like, I don't think FBZ makes any kind of a mistake there. It's just Bob thinking 2 steps ahead.
Big Brain plays. You love to see it.
Yep. And Tiny this
Now-
whole time, again, just farming away.
Bob has the Firefly again, and they're going to use the Mirana ulti to try and get away, but walks within range. Did they spot him? Not quite.
Oh, no. Oh, they've got Dust on Omni, but yeah, it looks like you say, just they didn't spot him at all.
Wow. And now, Tim's, FBZ moving in. They want to try and defend this. This is a little crazy,
Epicenter.
but Epicenter comes out, and the
Epicenter.
jump forward, but Denso right there immediately afterwards. It's not enough to keep him alive. The TA, but the magical damage puts an end to all of that. Shanks now tries to get out afterwards. Underlord TPing to help, and, well, they will find Yopaj and a good chunk of damage onto the rest of them. That's a really good hit of Malice, but Bob taking too much damage to jump forward, and they managed to kill him off. They don't have enough, and if they're not careful, Tino might go down too. He has to back out of here. FBZ burrow strike back up, goes in for the stun. Omni has a heal, but no Heavenly Grace for another 4 seconds, and Forge just end up dying. Huge win for Boom.
I mean, these Sanking, Mirana Storm, these are just these low cooldown spells. They're always going to be ready to fight, and Omni Knight, you know, level 1 heal is just not going to really cut it there. Unfortunately, yeah, the Tiny on the front line is just maybe overestimating his survivability and tankiness with the Omni behind. Like, he Heavenly Graces off the Burrow Strike, but the arrow still lands afterwards, so it's just very tricky situation to play in since the Heavenly Grace doesn't give the status resist anymore.
Well, it felt to me like Execration was like, okay, we need to make a move now, right? Or something like that. Like, we lost our tier 1 tower, we need to take theirs, and Boom was just like so ready and much better prepared to fight with the heroes they got, like you're saying.
Yeah. And I think Execration can't treat this Omni like it's this guaranteed save for their frontline cores. They need time to get more farms. Thank you. But they're going to get picked off all over the map here. Another Burrow Strike in the arrow. This FBZ Tim's combo has just been the backbone of Boom here so far in game number 3.
I mean, another thing is just Gem down bottom. They keep coming down with like 4 heroes, and
Yeah.
he is not dying. The tower is not dying. Bob now looking, hoping to find him. Off to the side. Oh, that hurts. Dude, they're gonna do it again. They're actually gonna do it again. They're all gonna die again.
Oh no. This tower's, yeah, level 4 living armor. This tower is hard to kill. Scam. Ooh.
Oh my god, they're all gonna die. Bob,
Yeah.
get away. Run. This scan comes. They know they're heading over here.
Oh god.
You know, they gotta run. Gotta hide. Don't want to get caught. FBC jumps in. And
Defender,
good
it's on the
save for the
Underlord.
moment. Okay, hit down. So much damage, and there isn't a save. Nothing left in the tank. Can he survive through this one? No. Yopaj moves over, eyes on Bob now, has him chased down if they want to go for it, but instead it's the lasso. Okay, big jump in to get on Yopaj. Now Jackie's showing up though, and the GA comes out.
Here comes Tiny too. They want to keep chasing.
Back alive.
But be careful. There's a
They'll
blink
have a
Burrow
great way to
Strike.
get into the fight.
Yeah.
Good bushwhack. Push back.
Burrow Strike into arrows a lot of damage if they overcommit here.
You have to be so careful. And I mean, again, with FBZ having that blink ready, it could all turn around in a second.
Yeah.
Dude, this tower is such a bait.
And that fight goes okay though. They adapted to where things went wrong last time and have the Underlord frontlining, so it's like very much like a, you know, you can go on that Underlord and kill me, but that means Sanking has to commit a blink Burrow Strike, and the second he does, we're gonna go on Sanking. Even though he lives, it's the Storm who overcommits a little bit, so Bob positioned and played that kind of, I mean, I don't know if you can call it push, but he you know, he played that fight really well with his positioning.
Like you said, definitely better in that regard, and also, you know, being able to find that kill onto Yopaj, try and shut things down a little bit. He does have the Orchid completed right now, and thinking about going on Shanks. There he is. Work it out. Push an easy kill.
Easy pickings. Storm well and truly online here in the early game. I think a pretty good game. 6-2-4. A lot of pressure going to be on Palace's rocky shoulders here this game. The Tiny needs to keep up the farm and really accelerate. Ursa going for this Battle Fury build means that, you know, it's going to be the slower paced Ursa. This is like, I was going to say more old school Ursa, but like it went, you know, obviously old school Ursa was more about the Mask of Madness, then it became the Battle Fury, then more recently we've gone back to like Diffusal and stuff, but you know, one of the few heroes that still occasionally buys Battle Fury and looking to keep up and farm with Tiny.
Should be able to somewhat effectively at least, and will always be a threat to kill him.
Bob sees it coming.
They back out now. Tino back behind the tower too. They have the Atos completed, so they've got some good lockdown for these heroes.
Yep. A lot of chain route against the Storm. Not sure if you can't fully chain it with just the level 1 Pit of Malice. I think you need like like level 3, I want to say, maybe level 2. Does mean Storm has to be a bit more careful when he's diving in.
Well, there's also, you know, just the hoodwink stuns and whatever else they want to throw into it. Also, something to watch for.
Yeah, that's where Boom may slow this game down, just so Yopaj can farm a BKB, but he gets that BKB.
Oh, that was the blink reveal of Bob, and will not be able to live another one. So GA popped also. It doesn't feel that good this game.
Bit of a bait on the rune there. Nicely done by Boom, just patiently waiting and hoping that he would go for that. And now they're into the Rosham pit with Arrow and an Ursa. Here come Execration. They have no Battler, but they want to defend this one. He may buy back. They've got an outpost for him to TP to.
They also have the Fiend's Gate if they want to do some fancy shenanigans.
Staying very low.
Thinking about going in, walks forward, but the Aegis already there. Good bushwhack. They want to go. They break down one. FBZ under control. Abatos dead. Palos still living. And that Heavenly Grace is going to be okay.
3.2k health with the Heavenly Grace Tiny. That is a problem. So, they walk away with an Aegis though. An Aegis on Storm means that Yopaj doesn't have to be quite as fearful about committing in and getting maybe caught by all those disables, but there is a lot of stuns and disables. Respawning without a BKB could be, you know, you could just be respawning into a Pit of Malice or something.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily solve the problems, and the constant spam.
Trying to get that first tower hit. It feels like a trap though. Here comes Yopaj.
In. Dude, they got him instantly. The save is down. They want to keep him in the pit for round 2 though. Meanwhile, Ursa right on top of one. Rose Strike comes out. Tino in trouble, and going to be the one left behind.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Whoa, they're diving in deep for more. This Storm. No roots to warp. There's other stuns to worry about, yeah. I think he saw Bob bottom, so he's like, okay, there's heroes here. Well, let's go kill him, but good defense from Boom. They're just not letting a single tower go with this living armor, and there's just the scariness of their initiation. Like, they have so much insta burst damage with the Sanking and the Mirana stun, with the Storm zipping in. But it's just so hard for Execration to... Like, when you're pushing, you're revealing your position and making it easy for the Sanking and the Storm to jump in.
Yeah. And then, you know, they definitely can take full advantage of it. And there are, like, these nice saves that you can see. The Omni definitely feels a lot more valuable this game. But it still hasn't translated into good fights after the fact. Maybe with a couple more of these items it will. I do think that the danger of Palace late game, like getting this Midas online early. Granted, Ursa is still ahead of him. Jackie's having a really good game and almost got a BKB.
Jackie's just being all in on the farming. Has more CS than the Tiny this game. It's just been very efficient. I think recognizing that, you know, Ursa versus Tiny matchup is pretty good for the Ursa later on in this game, as long as he can keep up in farm. If he doesn't go this Battlefield build, he's going to be, 3 to 5k net worth behind a Tiny, and the matchup maybe doesn't go as well. So basically, he's the plan B if this like early to mid game aggression and fighting doesn't give Boom a big enough lead. They've got the late game potentially secured as well.
In trouble. But in for the moment, nope, no longer. And the burst strike afterwards. Shanks in trouble. Arrow comes through one by one. Execration fall again, 15-6, and a 6,000 gold lead right now for Boom. Was looking close earlier, is no longer.
I mean, Storm loves these games where the enemy are kind of split up, trying to, like, they see Palos top, and that means the second Storm sees Palos top, he's like, okay, I'll jump anyone I see around these Ancients. He knows he's got backup from his team with the blink on Sand King and the blink on Ursa, so just really heads up play. Moonlight Shadow, I believe Execration
Sentry
should
down.
know this is coming, yeah.
Oh, good blink from FBC. And now find the back line, but the root, and they blow him up. He wasn't in range. The GA was not available, and Heavenly Grace not used either. And now Palos trying to toss him away, hoping to get a little bit of separation. They do have that Fiend's Gate down. Anybody going to show up on it, though? It doesn't look like it. Palos going to drop. Oh, no.
It's just like, I
มีนัก
can I go through this?
มีนักส่วงเราจะกินไหม
But,
Probably not a great idea. That's the fountain.
God, that would be. That's gonna happen one day in a Pro Dota game.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big, unfortunate. Bob blinks in as FBDZ does. Like, they just synced up their blinks, and that means it looked like Bob literally blinks on nothing. FBZ kind of does the same, but the thing is with Bob, he blinks into like all these enemy heroes, and suddenly he's getting Burrow Strike because of it. So, bit of unlucky timing because he had the vision. So, he was trying to play around this high ground vision, and FBZ was just making a bold play to jump high ground there that catched him by surprise.
The game, I mean, again, if you're Boom, you probably want to wait for another Aegis before you really try and make like a substantial push to any of these other towers. But yeah, the way the map is set up, it just feels like it's so much favored for Boom. And, well, they find another one in the trees. Bob, again, going to drop. Maybe they can find a kill here on the back line, trying to find this finish on to Palos. Does have Heavenly Grace, and, well, another round of jumping in. Yopaj trying to take him down. Do they have enough to kill him off? They will. Jackie right there on top. Heavenly Grace wants to run, wants to escape. Oh, look at his scam. He got his Blink Dagger. The Overgrowth connecting onto all of them. All the stacks on Antino. 13 stacks of Fury Swipe as they are all going to get dropped. The only one left behind, Tank. And just tier 2 tower about to fall.
Great aggression. They do lose Yopaj in that fight. Storm going down there, but Skem just showing up with a perfect backline 3-hero overgrowth. Just really enabling Jackie this game. He's just been having a field day in these fights. This feels like there's no answers to the Ursa. They're going to need like some Yule Scepters or something. Like they've got no one going Yules. It's usually the item you want against the Ursa, since you can kite him during the enrage, but it's tough because like Batrider also probably wants a BKB at some point. He's not going one, maybe just feeling like he can't farm it quickly enough. He's got 4-staff queued up. Like, I don't think there's any obvious answers to how to play this.
Okay, maybe this is the play though. You just kill him.
Great move.
Just kill the guy. Why not?
I mean, you mentioned at the start, it's getting late. That feels like one of those kills that, this was game one, and it's you're fully focused and sharp. I don't think that's a mistake Jackie's making, but we're approaching midnight in Southeast Asia, and these teams have been playing and waiting a while for this series.
Late games turn into very fun games for some teams.
Yes.
Well, maybe now they can claim this. Oh, they found him! FPC off the side. Caught. Dual Scepter, Avalanche, a little funky. The silence is there afterwards. Heavenly Grace, it's not going to be enough. TA, will it be? No. Overgrowth afterwards connects onto all four. They don't have an Ursa, though. Doesn't matter. He's just going to die. And now Bob, he doesn't have anyone left to go. Really? Yopaj
disabled.
Oh, God. And there it is. A triple kill for Yopaj.
Yep. I mean, last fight he didn't get to shine because he got focused with the Ursa popping off. In this fight, he's like, okay, no Ursa, no problem. I'll bait my Sand King, and once they threw all those spells on the Sand King, there's just nothing left for Yopaj. You kill the Underlord. He used his BKB to kill the Underlord, and then when it wears off, none of those roots are there for him to worry about. So, very well played team fight.
I think the Execration just needs to stay away from towers. It's not good. Not where they want to be.
Every time they go for these enemy tier 1s, something bad happens. They very much could have just played this like a farming game. Like, they want to defend their towers, but it feels like they really tried to force these enemy tier 1s, and every single time it's backfired. Because they were keeping up and Tiny was free farming. Like, if they just defended their area in the map rather than trying to, like, take over and invade booms, I think this game would have gone a lot better for them, but that's maybe just a bit of the inexperience showing, like, playing against the Treant Protector and the scary initiation with the Blink Sand King.
It does change the way the game is played, and they've gotten so much value out of these Tims, Mirana ultis, and then of course the very early Blink Dagger done for FBZ. It's just absolutely wrecked their game the way that they wanted it to play. And right now you can see like Palos has to farm up over here. He can't afford to play with the team. He has to try and keep even with Ursa. Spoiler alert, that's not going to happen. But he's got to at least make an attempt at it. Right now, 4,000 gold ahead of him, roughly, this Ursa. And into that next round of Roche, also picking up an Aghanim Scepter.
Pretty scary one. That reduced cooldown and just being able to use that. Somebody stun. Storm is in again.
Yeah, BKB, another round, just bullying.
He's happy to, I mean, at this point he's just like, psychological damage. Yeah, it's just support, and it is, 8-second BKB, but Yopaj is happy just to play around any duration of BKB this game. As long as he can just go in and have that immunity.
They got the tower. Down bottom, it was claimed.
That's hype. That's big. No.
Look,
Look, it's reassuring they can get a tower, okay? It's like, they've been trying their darndest to get a tower, and they finally do it. I mean, Tiny just had to get big enough that he could just go and swat it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, and he is getting towards BKB. Like, there's still timings that this team really wants to hit, and, you've got to make the plays. It all comes down to this, and a Roche ready to come on out. Oh, man, if Ursa can get this one, that is very scary.
Yeah. This is the shard, which I believe is best on Ursa. I don't think it's a Storm Shard. 1.5-second in range. Is it the Storm Shard? No. Ursa gets it. And the Axe, 600 away. This is a massive power spike for Boom. If not going high ground, they're just going to be completely taking over, starving out the map, giving Execration nothing to farm, and really building up a massive lead.
It's got to be some really fancy tactics coming out from Execration to be able to pull this one back here. Getting the next tier of items is definitely nice, like Tiny being able to pick up this Titan Sliver. He's already hitting very hard. Maybe if they could try and rune control and find Tiny as easy, that's another route to get back into this game.
Yeah. That's a big if, though, because the issue is I think they've got some decent wards down bottom, but wherever Boom are playing, you're not going to have vision because they've got this gem on Mirana now, and it just feels like they're controlling the vision game around the key parts of the map. But, I mean, Execration still have some good wards. They have 3 wards down littering the map, which haven't been dewarded, so it's still pretty nice, but their focus is up top.
Paulus actually has to come back right now, too afraid of either a rotation coming in or B, being caught down bottom side. Where Bob is still sitting around with the haste grab trying to farm up as well. And there is going to be the 30-minute rune spawning in just a second. Boom hanging onto this triangle. Another BKB for Execration.
Bob needs to be careful. He's in a very dangerous position. FBZ may come hunting for him if he catches wind of this jungle being farmed. But it looks like FBZ is just going to go push up bottom. But one of the weaknesses of Ursa, this hero is one of the worst carries at breaking enemy bases, pushing high ground. It's just not something the hero does particularly well. Which is why what Boom's trying to do when they go top is that you want to basically stop the enemy farming and force them to TP back to defend. You're not actually interested in going for a Rax push with an Ursa or an Aegis on Storm. You want to fight, you want to get kills, and the best way to keep your force your enemies to make a play is to deny them of getting any farm.
Yeah. You can see Bob here is going to catch the wave as well. There's the DD on Yopaj, which means a very dead Omni-Knight.
There's a Storm that might hunt it. Actually, no, Storm is not the idea.
Palos doesn't want to pop his BKB here. This is 9-second one. They're thinking though. Strike in, got him caught. Oh, he didn't stand a chance.
No Omni behind him, and you get him with that first stun. It's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't. He could pop his BKB there and walk back to base safely, and you know, would be like, oh, he BKB'd for nothing, or you know, he doesn't, and like that happens. So it's a rough one. However you look at it, and Execration just falling a bit flat here in game number 3. I think their draft was okay this game, at least compared to their game 2 one. But Boom just outplaying them so far.
Yeah, Boom really have stepped up their game. It feels like they have sort of dotted their I's, crossed their T's, and now going to head over towards mid and actually make an attempt at high ground. I mean, they're 21,000 gold up. They can sort of hold for a very long time on Execration, it feels like.
Yeah, I think the Boom high ground approach is just going to be diving tier 4s with Storm and Aegis Storm, because they just don't kill buildings. Like, it's like you need to just kill the heroes and then you can focus buildings afterwards. So I think at some point they're just like, Yopaj may feel strong enough to just go for some kind of crazy dive, but he'd rather dive heroes outside the base where it's a bit safer. So this, I mean, I feel like 2 or 3 minutes ago it was like an 18k gold lead, and I was saying, you know, force them back, starve them out of any farm, and now it's already a 22k gold lead. This gold lead will continue to climb. Even when Aegis expires, like, Boom can just control the entire map, control all the resources on the map. Tino, you know, doing what he can to defend this mid lane. Execration can farm the creeps that come to their base, but they're not farming any jungle camps.
I wonder if you Fiends Gate across the map. Is that crazy?
Maybe? I'm not sure. I feel like you may get hunted, but... Yeah. Bob, you poked his nose out. You're about to dive high ground.
Oh my god, it's all the way in. But is he going to go down? Okay. 1 round. It's just 30 seconds left. DPC thinking about going. Dual Scepter catches immediately.
Oh, the arrow hits on me. Oh, they're not going to follow it up. They're worried with no Storm BKB. Very disappointed for Boom.
And Aeon just procced already, looking for a toss back, not going to find it. FBZ thought about going in with that epicenter. So
great Yules
30 seconds left.
Gold and sweet.
Yeah, Bob was trying to get the lasso on the Storm respawn, but I think it was the Sand King who was there with the quick fingers on the Yules. FBZ, we saw it last game, where he had those quick blink bar strikes. I'm seeing it again here.
God, he's going for Lincoln's next. Palos wants to hunt, hoping to find somebody.
This Lincoln's is so good. It's like the perfect. He's got Lotus and Lincoln's, and these items are not for him. That Lincoln's is going on his Storm on his Ursa. Like he wants his Storm to just be able to go diving in, unafraid of a lasso. So he can make Execration. At some point, this is what happens. You see the enemy farming everything on the map, and you know you're just getting further and further behind. At some point, you say, "Screw it, we got to go out and make a play." They're being pinged though because of that D ward, I think.
And the Midas might have got pre-spotted there as well.
Yeah.
They're so ready for this.
Dude, they're literally arrowing them in smoke. They know exactly where they are. Oh, they're circling them now.
Look at them.
They're being red. Jackie's just going to go charging in with Axe BKB.
Oh my god, got to run away. Burrow strike there onto 2, hoping for anything, but there's not nearly enough. Jackie focuses now onto Tino. He needs to put down the gate to get his team the heck out of here, but it won't happen. Bob afterwards gonna fall 4 dead. Boom, they are so unbelievably inside their brains.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it.
It's crazy. It's like they're playing an RPG game. They forgot to level up stealth. Oh no. It was kind of unfortunate because they had a gem and they went out of their base. The creeps killed the observer ward with the gem. Yeah. And I think Boom are just like, I don't think there was a sentry there. How does that get dewarded without a sentry being planted? And then they just ran. It's unfortunate, but here we go. Only 1 buyback. They're going to get at least a tower and probably 1 lane of racks here.
See if Boom decide to continue to play safe back here in the base as the pressure is going to be mounted down bottom next. They get the melee rack, but head on over to the side. Palos there along with Shank looking for an opening, and well, they do manage to find him for a moment. God, he does nothing. Literally does nothing. Lotus.
Just gonna be a little careful. Has that low cooldown and rage. But it doesn't look like Execration can catch anybody here.
Dire's bottom
And
tower
if
is under
you're Boom, you're thinking about, let's push out some of these lanes and find a way to re-engage. They send FBZ top. They're going to look to reset and regroup. Maybe wait for another Roshan if they really want to play this safe. They're probably still a little rattled. Like, having lost game 1 to Execration. This team was 0-5. Not to say that they're not scrubs. This is a good team with some really good, skilled players. But, you know, this is Boom. They won the biggest international LAN that's happened in a long time.
A very, very solid team. And
There it is. The Fiend's Gate to go farm.
let's see it.
Oh, no. They left him behind.
It did not work. It did not work. Dude, FBZ wanted to run through the gate. He was ready to go.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care where it's going. Well, that was unfortunate for them.
Yes. I think they're kind of at that. Yeah, 36 points. Every time I look, it's like 5. It's gone up by like 5K. I'm just like, okay, if that's not enough to go high ground, it's Ursa pushing high ground, but 36K gold lead is pretty damn big.
Ag Storm catches on to 2. Oh, rooted FPC. He gets the burrow strike in afterwards, and then Jackie follows up. Dead again. BKB's down. They do pop Glyph. Never give up, never surrender. Paulos, he's caught up high, but he gets the Yule Scepter away. What? How does he manage to get out of there? Oh, it's not fair. And the Overgrowth Scam wants to hunt, hiding away in the trees, hoping to get back home, and Jake's actually manages to escape. Now tosses back into the fountain, able to catch him, and gonna be able to bring him down. That is so much gold.
That's the high ground defense. You utilize the fountain, the 6th hero. I mean, it's a bit more than the hero. And you've got Tiny and Batrider repositioning. I think that's the reminder to Boom. Like, okay, there's a Roshan coming up, and, you know, we're pushing into a team with Tiny Bat. We gotta be a little careful.
You know, pops his BKB. No pod. Pod again. Doesn't have his BKB.
Yeah.
Nothing left, though. They don't have damage.
There's no lasso, though, but they're still chasing.
Okay.
There's
Take the Sand King now.
All right.
I do feel the need to remind everybody it's still a 35,000 gold lead, but
Yep. Hey,
they
can
want
they
to
get
fight.
Roche? That would be great for Execration to get Roche. I don't think, I mean, it's still an incredibly hard game to win, but more than anything, deny it from Boom. But I think Boom can contest this, maybe even with 3 heroes. They also have buybacks, like a Sand King buyback alone may be enough. This would be, you know, that 1% hope will become like 5% if they can get this Roche out.
Well, that is a bash from Roche.
They have
They
vision.
want to fight this. Abatos, okay.
Oh, that's not much
He
damage,
takes
though.
no damage.
Yeah. He just tanked it.
Pull. On to 2. Yopaj, BKB afterwards wants to kill Shanks. Able to miss, okay. That's BKB's down now.
Radiant's bottom tower
I don't know.
is
They're
under
starting to sort of rack up some good fortune for Execration.
Myra might help him out. It's going to hit Roshan. Will that?
Oh.
I think you just got to go for this if you're Execration. Either fight or Roche. You got to make a play here.
First strike.
Bob in trouble.
Finds one. Bob there. They want the Aegis. They want it so badly. BKB's out. Everybody in.
Got it.
Paulos against the Aegis. And Bob pops the regen. Run afterwards. Abatos catches. Yopaj is dead. 90 seconds. Paulos under fire, but still has that Aegis. They have the refreshing start afterwards. This fight is actually looking decent for Execration. Tino is able to hide away the Trickster Cloak, keeping him alive.
Okay.
Oh,
there it is.
but he's eventually going to go down, and they will need to get out with everybody else. Unfortunately, Jackie's there, finds Bob. He too will die. Paulos hopes to escape, but will not be able to
Dire's middle tower
quite be
is
able to
under
get out with the Aegis that time, since it was killed at least one time on this Tiny.
That was the best start we've seen Execration make all game. Like they're playing, they're making moves, they're going out there, they're taking risks. Unfortunately, the deficit is just so big that it feels like maybe it's too little, too late, but it's still something. And there's still a cheese in hand, well, in his backpack for Palos. We'll see what moves they can make here. Doesn't look like he's going to fight. He's going to push out this
This
minute.
happened 15 minutes ago. I feel like Execration would be in a good position, but yeah, did not. Oh no, there's Paulos. As soon as they get onto him, it's really tough. Abyssal Blade there, and eyes on the prize. Jackie turns back now onto the tier 3 towers.
has fallen.
A bushwhack thrown out, but there is no
See
hope at the
Palos.
moment. They find him, and the Earth, they're right on top of him, trying to get away, hoping to
Heavenly
escape.
Grace. Toss back
FBZ
now.
there as well. Just go back out. Ooh, looking for the toss back into the fountain. They can't quite get him.
Playing it safe.
Yeah.
Jackie's like, I know what happened last time I dived too far. Let's get the objectives. 10 second stillness Underlord, and unfortunately Storm is back with a DD. He's got that long range zip.
He's looking for the long. He wants the highlight. This guy wants the Reddit clip.
There you go.
From downtown, catches nobody. But they're gonna get the filter instead.
Should be secured.
Jump in, immediately take it off. Then raid, and then the beatdown continues. Yopaj looking for the chase. Double kill there. Tezo is gonna fall, and GG is going to be all. Boom! Take care of business.
They do. It was a series they got tested in. It went the full 3 games, and game 2, I think they completely stomped and outclassed them. This game, they outclassed. I wouldn't say they completely stomped it. We saw some signs of life here and there from Execration. But yeah, I think for Boom, this is always a good out. It reminds me a bit of like Fnatic in week 1 when they played Neom, where they weren't playing their best Dota, but these top tier teams, these tier 1 teams, they get the win against these teams they're supposed to beat, even when it isn't like when they're not playing their best. Like, yeah, it's a 2-1, and you can easily walk away saying, oh, Boom dropped a game to the bottom team, but you have your off days, and the fact that Boom can walk away with the win, that's all that matters.
Right, and I think that the game that they won on Execration wasn't Boom playing down and worse. It was Execration playing up to them, which to me at least says a lot about the region as a whole, that you can have a team that's now 0-6 going to be relegated out and still looked like they were playing with, the best team in the region. So I don't know. I was still very impressed. Obviously, Boom come away with the W there. And I think that there's still going to be some questions about like how all this stuff works out, because they're going to be playing some of those top teams. And there's a chance that, they can maybe end up in some crazy tiebreaker scenario as well. Who knows?
Yeah, you got your Boom, Fnatic, T1, SMG still in the race. So it's going to be a fun last week of games to kind of determine which of those probably 3 teams is going to the major. And it's unfortunate Execration go down, because I totally agree with what you're saying. It feels like they can be a Division 1 team at times when they're playing the best Dota, but then you look at the teams coming up, your Talon, potentially RSG. SCA is it's stacked with talent.
A lot of talent there for sure. And for now, at least, we're going to end the day and the broadcast. A great 3 series that we had, starting out in the Div 2 stuff as well. But for now, at least, we're going to head to a quick break. When we get back, the panel's going to break down all the action, get an interview, and get on out of here. See you all in a few.
After a great long night of Dota, we see Boom take out Game 3 and our final series against Execration. It does mean Execration are 100% going to be relegated to Division 2. The series that we see them play next is going to be their last series in Division 1, but that's something to talk about in a little bit. I do want to break down this game number 3. And for you, Fia Ursa, you predicted the pick. They ended up going with it, and I have to say, definitely a big influence in the direction this game took.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw the Underlord, saw the Tiny. Like
It
a
just
great
made
Ursa game.
sense.
Yeah.
He literally picked up the phone and called them and let them know. And they were like, thank you.
I'm pretty
Thea."
sure Ursa's like the hardest counter to Underlord, so that's, you already look at it and you're like, is it a good carry matchup? The answer's yes. You just found yourself the best hero you can possibly pick.
If Slark was in meta, do you think he would be a bigger or counter than Ursa, or do you think Ursa still takes the number 1?
It depends on which one's better in the meta.
Okay, so it's
they're
even.
similar type of heroes, but let's say Ursa was like really bad that patch, and Slark was first pick every game, then I would go with Slark. So
Good to know, good to know.
okay, glad I could answer that for you. No problem.
Really appreciate it, but it wasn't picked, and I
And
added
Slark
nothing
and
to
Slark's
this
irrelevant.
analysis. But for the Game 3 Execration, couldn't really get into it. Were there any shining moments for them, though, Sheep?
For Execration,
Yeah.
I think Batrider was having a fun time.
I thought you were about to say definitely the silver lining. I was like, no, Batrider wasn't. Batrider was definitely running it down.
No, that ain't what I was gonna say. That's very negative of you. I think Fear, you kind of doom and gloomed it during the drafting stage, that how Storm kind of destroys him. I think he kept up in net worth for quite a while and moved around the map and tried to get some kills and do some stuff and have some impact, and I think he was successful for a while, but then after that it kind of just became really hard for Execration to fight. He just kind of was out of position a few times, got picked off. Fights were very hard if Bob was not alive. I would say a lot kind of was on his shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I worried about the bat pick the most, is that it's kind of a greedy mid. You need a lot of items. You need to get to that BKB fairly soon, and I think his laning stage wasn't great. It wasn't bad, necessarily. Like, he did lose,
Yeah.
but most of his comeback was from the Hoodwink stacking Ancients from him, and taking, like, a fat Ancient stack. Because he had, like, I don't know, 10, 11-minute bots. By no means is that good. Like, normally, when you see Bat in his prime, he's getting that, like, 9 minutes when he actually had a good laning stage. Then you snowball that into, like, a 16, 17-minute BKB. That's when the hero gets really scary. So he wasn't able to get to that BKB. He went for a blink and then started walking in first and getting chains done. And that's where it all went downhill for him in this game.
Yeah.
Was this game long enough for you to form a better opinion on Skim's
Ram
tree?
protection?
Treant?
Hell yeah! Just keep bringing it up until he says it's
Oh
good.
yeah, I'm gonna keep going
I mean,
until he goes. Yeah, you know
he-
what? We found another good tree player.
Let's go.
I didn't see any problems with the play. He was trying to be active,
Okay.
right? So I actually think he played Tree pretty well. Right? He didn't.
That's what I wanted to hear.
He didn't play that normal Treant protector, the one that
Mhm.
I hate the most that most people do, where he's just AFK farming. He was very active, so yeah, he's got my seal of approval for this one.
We did it, baby.
all that
Let's
matters.
go, Scam.
Now he can sleep peacefully at night, Skim, knowing that he has seal of approval for playing tree. I would clap, but I have a book in my hand.
I'll
And
do
I'm not
it for
gonna
you.
clap for myself, so
Yeah, that's also that would kind of be weird as well. Yeah. A standout player on either side though, on both sides.
Just over the whole series.
Yeah, not just game 3.
I really enjoyed Tim's performance the whole time.
Yeah.
Personally, just as a pause 4, he always impresses me. Him and DJ, I think, are the most fun for me to watch in this region. They just kill a lot and they do a lot and they run around a lot.
We do like that.
I do like that.
We do like that.
FBC for sure for me.
In game 2, he was like chef's kiss by
Yeah.
far and away.
Mhm.
He was still good in game 3.
Yeah,
He did
was
his
good.
job,
He
but
did
like
his job.
game 2 was a standout performance. He
And
was
on Execration?
standout player on
Yeah.
Execration.
Yeah. I mean, they had a good game 1, so there has to be someone that you're like, I want the whole series, but there has to be someone.
I think probably Tino, I guess.
I agree with Tino.
Probably Tino.
Tino's
Yeah?
great, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's like really come into his own in the offlane role. Like,
Mhm.
probably couldn't ask for like. I mean, he swapped from role to role, and like he's just done like a really good job, like
Mhm.
in the last few series. So
Well, Boom did take the series, which means we get to chat to them for the winners interview, and we are going to be talking to Jackie, which is going to be exciting. Jackie, thank you so much for joining us. I firstly want to ask, how did you guys bounce back from the loss in game 1?
We keep talking together, then yeah, we just talk about the draft and our gameplay. Yeah.
Do you think the draft is what lost you guys game 1, or was there more to it?
I think our play is not like our play style. Like we just basically we just keep going to them. Then the first game is like we just keep defending and just farming.
Okay.
Yeah.
on the third game, you guys last picked Ursa, but you kind of took your time with the pick. I was wondering if there was another hero carry you guys were considering.
Maybe we will pick the Razer. Yeah, but the Mushi say let's go Usa then G.
It was banned though, to be fair.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, it's banned. I forgot already.
It was a long series, you know. We'll forgive it.
And also, you changed your name to Jack Boys. Are you gonna stick with that one for next season, or are you gonna change it back or change it to something else?
Maybe I don't know. Depends on the future.
That's fair.
Alright, so my question for you is, are you guys on boot camp right now?
Yes.
You are? How long have you been on boot camp?
2 months.
2 months. Wow. So
Yeah.
you guys haven't played that many games of DPC, right? Compared to a lot of the other teams. Do you guys feel like for this patch you're still kind of like learning and getting into it and you need to play more games, or do you guys feel like you're at top form right now?
I feel like we need to practice more and just find another hero and try another plan to it's like a new patch, we need to find more.
Cool. Well, Jackie, thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to seeing what Boom is going to bring for the rest of the DPC, and congratulations again on the win.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you. See ya.
Bye.
I was more on time with my waves that time. Did you like
Me
it?
too. I
A
think
little
we all were.
faster.
Yeah, we're very good waving synergy. Just next time like in sync, like 3, 2, 1.
The later the night gets, the better in sync we are.
Apparently, somehow, even though I feel like we've lost all of our brain cells.
I never had any to begin with.
Jokes on
That's
you,
true.
so true. Division 1 standings, though. After our 2 Division 1 series today, this is what the ladder's looking like. Fnatic up there, undefeated, only team undefeated, haven't played 4 series there, and Execration now sitting 0-6. I said it, they lost against Boom, which means they are definitely going to be relegated no matter what. Even if they win their next series, the best they get is tied for Neon, and 2 teams get relegated. So right now it's looking like Execration and Neon are going to be those 2 teams going down, but there is still hope for Neon as they have 2 more series to play. 2 more series to play. No, yep, that's it.
Yep.
That's
Good run from Execration.
Yeah.
Honestly, of course they still have that last game. Good luck to them in Div 2 next season. Hopefully next year we'll see them like back up again. Hopefully they'll stick it together and just get better.
I just realized today, actually, we found out Talon's definitely coming up and Execration's definitely going down. So today was actually a really big day for
Productive.
Southeast Asia DPC
Yeah.
and finding out those changes that are going to happen between Division 1 and Division 2. It's also the end of week 4. End of the week means that we're going to be doing our MVP votes. And I think this is going to surprise a lot of people. Not a single Boom player was picked. Not even by sheep.
I decided to take mercy on the other Southeast Asian players today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who'd you nominate, and why do you want to defend him?
He's just
They
below
promote?
me. They always put my nomination below me, so I get to pat their head.
Never
Good
noticed.
boy, Armel.
That's I never want to see that again.
He was
Yeah.
so good today. What a great player. He owned so hard.
Mhm.
And that's it. That's my pitch. He
I
owned
feel
hard.
like
Beautiful.
all these players played pretty well.
They
That's
did.
actually true.
Yeah, this is-
100%.
the other ones I saw, I was like, I don't know, but like this is a tough one, I think.
I
Yeah.
said I wanted to actually steal your nomination of In Your Dream because, I mean, dude, Kami-sama, he did not die in his series. Like, both games, 0 deaths. Whoo.
Enigma Galaxy just looks so good up against SMG, but they are the 4 players. You can vote for either Armel, Carl, DJ, or In Your Dreams. If you head over to SEA DPC League on Twitter, you can vote for it, and if your player, the one that you voted for, wins, then we'll have a little highlight reel of them at the start of next week, which will be nice to see just why they deserved MVP. But definitely go over there and vote for who you think deserves it the most. Is there anything else you guys want to say as we close out this week?
Yeah, go check out Carl's Void Spirit and before you make your nominations.
Okay, that's true. I didn't really give you the floor to go for your
That's
nominee
okay.
either.
Let's
So
put in there.
Really, you should watch all the games because Southeast Asia is the best region with the best games and a subpar panel and great casters.
I'm offended. I think we're a great panel, but either way, that is going to conclude week 4. We will see you guys in a couple of days for week 5.